any of the issues. We had an issue where our encoder kicked out. An issue. My phone actually says we're actually live now, which is good. Makes a change. Makes a difference, doesn't it? Stream, make sure everything's going alright. Ooh, the upload rate is looking rocky today. See, because this might fix some of the issues as well. Hopefully that's coming through right now. Just considering the thing is, if I tab out of Twitch Studio, what ends up happening is it stops showing up on stream. So it's just like still frame. However, if I click off the game, sometimes it will end up pausing. Okay. But I suppose the issue I find sometimes is if I've not been playing a game for at least a couple of days, I forget everything I've been doing. Which can be an issue sometimes. So, find out where we're going. Oh, I forgot there's a flag on the map. Oh, I know where we're going now. I have noticed sometimes with stuff like Wii U emulation, the audio in the background can get a bit laggy sometimes, which isn't exactly good, is it? Correctly, there's some golden bugs around here, but I can't remember if they're on this side or the other side. I can't remember. To be honest, there's quite a few of them to catch in this game, so like I'm not going to be able to remember all of them. There's one of the sky letters for later on. Some rupees. I do apologise, I keep looking at my phone. I don't want it to like not lag out exactly, but I don't want it to split into multiple streams. However, I suppose now at least now I have a... My mind's going blank. I've got video editing software now, so I'll be able to compile like stream pieces, which is good. So even if it does split up into multiple sections, what I can do now at least is I can download the pieces from Twitch itself, and then I can just put it all back together. Which is always good, isn't it? Take care of these dudes. frees up a portal. Honestly, they used to terrify me growing up. When I was younger and I first played Twilight Princess, although I loved it, the Shadow Interlopers, they used to terrify me. Oh, I don't know. They're not like that scary, but I used to hate going up to them. And so I did think as a kid this game was pretty scary, all things considered. Then again, it is one of those Dark Zelda games. In fact, it's probably second darkest or the darkest. It depends on your opinions of Majora's Mask, really. Those Majora's Mask is pretty dark, considering it actually focuses around death, and you actually see many characters dies, you know. A lot of them, pass on. Yes, we will go in the Twilight. We don't like it, but I think this is the last Twilight area. Which makes sense. Because I don't believe there's one over the Gerudo Wastelands. Yeah, it's the last of the Twilight. I guess Sant didn't think there was anything good in the Gerudo lands. To be honest, can't blame him. It's a bit of a shithole, really. I can't exactly blame him. I'd have left it alone, to be honest, as well, because there's nothing really there. Don't just come home safely. We're not doing that. We are not coming home safely at all. Let's turn ourselves around. So the only reason I don't enjoy this part of the game exactly is because it's coming up to the point where we've got a bit of an escort mission, which I can't say I exactly like. Gonna get hit harder from here on out. That's acceptable. But the things with the escort mission, it tends to be fine, but my controller doesn't have gyro, so it's going to make it slightly harder. It should be fun considering you can try it as long as you like, as many times, unless it destroys the cabin on the back. Then I think it results in a game over. I don't know. I mean, I'd rather not have a game with escort missions in it, but if we have to have escort missions, we have to have escort missions. The only reason I might not go 100% with this playthrough on here is generally because there's no gyro. Which usually would be fine, but there's a couple of missions that are definitely better with them. Definitely better. I could always increase my stick sensitivity. That could always help, I guess. You find it funny how I just remember where to go, roughly. if I had gyro, or if I had a controller where I could have used gyro, then it would have been better. Now, if I could have used my Wii U gamepad on my PC, that would have been a hell of a lot better. I would have looked at hooking up my Wii U with the capture card I've got, but it's a pretty poor quality capture card. Pretty poor quality. I know. What I'm gonna do when it comes to the stuff like the minigame missions, and I will try them. Like, I'll give them a go. I'll give them a good shot. Like the hookshot minigame in Hyrule Castle Town, where we are currently. I'm willing to give it a shot. It might take a couple of tries. It'll take a couple more tries than it would if I did playing it on the Wii U gamepad. Tell us better. Of course, this is Ilya from our village, with of course the best character Telma, and of course Prince Rallis, I believe his name is. Luckily, they can't see us at the moment. I mean, they wouldn't have to worry about us. You've been paying attention, to be honest. As we know, there's some issues at the moment with Hyrule. Of course, we will come in multiple times. Oh yeah, I forgot. You can actually take care of the Tears of Light, but because we don't have the vessel, we can't actually collect them. We can just leave it here to collect later. I'm going to take just a quick walk around, really. I love some of just the random chats you can have in this game. A lot of people just skip over, you know? Which kind of fun to do. To be honest, I skip a lot of the conversations as well. Because I'll be completely honest, I have no clue where I'm going now. Considering... Well, I mean, probably we need to speak to the doctors, really, isn't it? Because around the outside. We'll go to speak to the doctors for the main reason. I do believe we have to come round here, dive in, all that stuff. If the doctor has anything to say. I try not to think about the Zora section, to be honest. Well, I don't find it interesting because it is, however, at the same point in time, it's a bit of a pain. I love it, you can just throw bones. Pretty cool feature. Let's see. I know where the tears are, for the most part. And I know where I have to go for the most part of the game. Like I know where the next spring is. I suppose we have to go there next, considering like we found one of the tiers. I think this is might be the other path. The other path. It'd have been one of the two. Although I played the game a lot, I wouldn't be good at speedrunning it. Just because I'm quite forgetful, so I would have forgotten part of a route. Wouldn't have been able to finish it on time. You can usually go down to the right to get down. However, we don't have hands or opposable thumbs, so we can't open the doors. We've actually got a couple of mini bosses coming up, I think. I just feel weird seeing like the entire lake drained. Like I say like a lot, I know, but I don't know how Twilight affects it. I suppose when we come to Zora's domain later on, we'll explain it. Look, a little irritating archer man. Got pretty good aim, you know, considering his species. There's a couple of issues I'm going to have with 100%ing the game, just considering the hardware and the controller. But one of those is there's a shootout section later on in Old Kakariko Village, which is where they were before they moved to Death Mountain. There's actually a bomb bag underneath us, I believe, as well. It might not be this area, but I know there is a bomb bag around. Oh, look, here's the floating house. I remember dude's name, I think is Fado? Oh, yeah. Fire and Falby. That's it. Yep, Zora's Live Up River and the curse that's in there. Technically, this is classed as a mini boss. Because it's a specialist enemy type, if you will. It isn't, it's just combining two enemies. But people people say it's a mini boss. I mean, people like Zelda don't. Well, I can't rock. They always looked weird to me because they always looked fleshy. Because I know they're headless beings. Should keep an eye on them. It's quite easy, all things considered. Jesus Christ. But I know they're headless, but camera angle, whoops. don't know where they're taking me. Probably just going to throw me against the ground and I'm going to lose a heart of health. Yep. They're usually alright to take on if you're good with the camera. You're alright with the camera. Normally as Link you'd be able to use the bow, but don't exactly have his abilities. Bit better that. Yeah, I'm surprised considering that's boss as a mini boss. I guess first things first is refilling the lake, which is why we're going to go up to the top of Lake Hylia. And get ready for one of the worst sections in the game. This already doesn't exactly feel great. The main issue is the third-party controller. It's like the controls are pretty bad with it. Because there's large, I think, dead zones on the controller with the thumbstick. Can be a bit unresponsive too, but whoops. Sometimes it's for the better. Let's just say if I did games done quick one day in the future, they wouldn't accept this controller. See, this is my favourite game of all time. However, there's a lot of it I'm not exactly fond of. Quite interesting, to be honest. Although it's my favourite game of all time, there's loads of issues with it. Loads of things I'd do to improve it. I suppose if it did come to Switch one day, it'd be pretty good because they'd be able to work on the controls. I kind of have my own list of things I'd change in video games. I think we get a bomb bag from this later. Yeah, I know it's cold at the moment. I suppose it's all teasing what's going to happen, isn't it? To be honest, I think this is more than enough proof to to explain what's happening to Zora's River. It's quite pretty, all things considered. Maybe a hellish landscape at the moment, but you know. So the good thing is, after we do this dungeon, we're going to be able to get the Master Sword, at least after a bit of time. Any case going to come after me? It sounds cringe to say, but this was probably like the most memorable Midna jump for me. I should remember the reason why. That's where it's going to be. There it is. It's always cool to me, like how high up you'd be able to get. I know I've just got loads of memorable experiences with this game. I think the main reason is because like I've played it so many times. I always made the mistake of attacking those two first and then coming after this one. Tends to happen if you attack that one first. I'm not exactly surprised I remember so much of the game. Just had a pop-up come up on my PC, something about the sea cleaner. This is why the game's considered dark. You literally have loads of just frozen bodies at the moment. I do like as well in regards to this game is they leave a lot of it up to the imagination, if you will. I don't know how to explain it exactly, but the thing is, they kind of just throw you into it and say, "Oh yeah, you can warp and get out of here if you like. You can walk back to the World of Light." And then they mention, "Oh yeah, you can Thor it." You know, but they never tell you, "Oh yeah, go to Death Mountain and take that giant boulder up with you." It's quite funny as well because I mentioned earlier being able to get a bomb bag from in the water. That's this section. But I need to get I need to get water bombs. I need to get water bombs first. But I do think it's quite funny once you blow up the boulder. We're just gonna cook a load of Zora at this point. Does look quite nice though. I know this game's known for its bloom effects. Got to admit, the water looks pretty good. Zoras are safe now, let's go. Ice is melted, restored the water flow to normal. I mean, I do say after this dungeon we'll be able to get the Master Sword, but there's a bit in between us, us completing the Water Temple and I'm getting the Master Sword. If you've played the game or you've seen it before, you'll know what I'm talking about. We get some of the best music of all time. Yeah, the old Queen of the Zora. Tell it. Dark Ones raided the village, and as a message to my people, they executed them. Very nice. Well, you did her. I didn't ask of you, when the Dark Ones descended upon the village, you sent Prince Rallis to Hyrule. I mean, he never made it. Save Rallis, and then get the water tunic. The Zora tunic. Turn to the world of light. The same name of the story mode from Smash Bros. Ultimate. First things first, I suppose we better get out of this area. First things first, we need to go back down to the lake. Just Link's long howl. Does look a bit better now here, though, don't you think? To be honest, I think Midnight is probably my favourite companion in Zelda history. Considering we can only really compare her to a few companions, that being Vi and Vi, Tattletale, and you know, the other fairy. And look, the Vessel of Light, something we don't exactly want to do. Like, who else can you compare Midna to? Navi, the fairy that literally ditches you and runs away? You know, there's also like the DS companions, but we don't talk about the DS Zelda games. I think the main issue and the main reason I dislike the DS Zelda games is touchscreen control. Because the entire game is made with touchscreen. To be honest, there's a lot of times you can turn and say, oh yeah, this companion's good for these. And there's loads of good things you can say about them. I don't want to attack him. Okay, I've made this impossible now. Because I didn't plan it. Oh no, I think she's a pretty good character to some extent. However, she's a bit of a boring character. I know, the thing is, she was a bit of a boring character up until the end, where she actually had a heartfelt message to Link. I don't know, I'd prefer Midna mainly because she's such a cowbag at the start of the game. She is a complete bitch. But then, later on she becomes nicer, I guess. She becomes more fair, more rounded, and she, I suppose, considering Link's doing her like a massive solid, not just freeing her. Well, say freeing her. Not just collecting the pieces. But I think Binder actually had a change of heart when it came to Link. No, I think that's kind of cool. She has good writing. I know she has her issues. You know, everyone can agree. But she's more of a well-rounded character than any of the other companions in the Zelda series. you want to talk to me about something? Oh, I know what she's going to say. Oh, Link's howling sounds crispy. Just know I'm going to have to do this a couple of times to collect the, not spirits, but the tears of light. Which actually, that's the thing. Because of course Tears of the Kingdom came out, I didn't really talk about this, but of course every character gets a tear in the game. So every character, every sage, if you will, you get a tear. I suppose it could relate to, like, you know, the tears of light in this game and Skyward Sword, which is kind of cool. Bit of a callback, if you will. Does make it easier to see. Yeah, I see. I always have an issue with the steering of this hard rock. I forgot you could lock onto them when you get. Make it a bit easier if it helps with controls. Hello? Oh yeah, these guys are still there. I always call them Calbrox. I think they're Calbrox, considering that's what they are in other Zelda games. Oh, actually did them pretty right. Only took like a second attempt, but I suppose I did get them all in one roll. In one run. Once I got a hang of controls, that is. We will have to go down this rapid a couple more times. Once when we unlock the bomb run. Once more when we have to shoot fruit pots. I believe, if I remember correctly, at least the key to the fruit pots is shooting the strawberry ones, I think. I think the strawberry ones are higher points, but if you shoot ones of the same type, you get a bonus. Oh well, back here again. Maybe these tears of lights are going to be alright. Got so confused this part when I was younger, because I didn't realise I had to speak to her. There's a couple of things I can do in this section. One, of course, being collecting. We're not going to remember all that. Just makes the game a bit on the easy side, doesn't it? Nearly fumbled it. This section of the game just shows how memorable other Zelda game OSTs are. One of the main reasons I love the Zelda franchise is because of the music. Like, all of the music is just so memorable. Also, I do quite enjoy with the Golden Wolf howling. every time you alter a different statue, you're in a slightly different location. It's all relative to Hyrule Castle. Sword in hand, and finally. We are actually going down this way. We need to go north first. And we'll be going down that way because, of course, there's the one tier then. I didn't want to do that. Hold on, let's have a look. Yeah, is this way we want to go? Like, the Zelda franchise has always been memorable to me. I know I have spent like more time playing this game, but I can quite quickly do a speed run of Ocarina of Time. Not like GDQ levels, you know. However, like pretty good tends to be about 8 hour mark if I play up to scratch. Of course, if I played it on here, it's likely to be emulation. Can you climb, Link? Bastard. I know, Ocarina of Time is one of my favourite Zelda games, but it's on the repetitive side, if you will. Yes, I know, giant ball of unfreezable. Can you teleport me? I always had an issue going up these areas, considering at some point I ended up getting controller drift on the Wii U gamepad, which became a bit of an issue at one point. I do think Ocarina of Time is the most Zelda game, if you will. Might as well jump down, take care of this bug as well, and this chest. It's just got 30 rupees. I said at some point, didn't I? I meant to say at one point. No, see, for the most part with this game, playing with controller drift, I was fine with it, because in the points where you needed to aim, I just had to hold the left stick still, or the right stick, depends what I was using at the time. And then just aim with gyro. It wasn't too bad. The only issue would have been walking up tight slopes. No, it's a pretty memorable game, this, for me. Just like the first time I heard Minda's Lament, it was a beautiful soundtrack. Can't remember if this way is blocked off by a boulder still. Is at one point. Yeah, it is currently. Which is pretty alright. You can't complain too much, considering you can just warp. So you may notice on the map there's only two more tiers, but we're missing 3. We'll come to that eventually. Good, we got that one. Means we can now go down to Hyrule, I guess. Hyrule. We are in Hyrule, but we're just in the Zora region. I think we can get through up there, which will be that main pathway. So we'll try to get up there, but that does require running up here again. I know I could have like done a bit of forward planning, but you know, as the boulder's still there, it tends to be a bit of a pain in the arse. I think out of all of the races in Zelda history, I know like Hylians are one of my favourites just because the devotion to the god is kind of interesting to me. However, I do quite like the Zora. I quite like their design in this game, and it's not for the reason people think. But I don't know, I enjoy the look of them because they're like more realistic human people. Rather than, oh yeah, they're just fish creature. I can't remember if this side's blocked off as well. No. Good. Oh, heck. It is. It's just I hate that about games sometimes. It's like, why not stick a boulder before the loading screen? I can't remember if this sticks us at the top. Nah, I'm not going to risk it. I'm not going to risk it. I would have. I don't know. I just don't think there's any point in risking it. To be honest, I couldn't remember if that portal was above ground or by the waterfront. If I knew, I would have gone for it. If not, I didn't want to have to walk back to the top of Zora's domain. It's always good spamming A just to go quicker. It's quite a good looking game, all things considered. Considering, you know, the amount of bloom effects, considering the Twilight. It is a quite good looking game. Even though it's basically emo boys Wind Waker. Just because the main reason this game came out was so dark was because everyone complained about Wind Waker being like, oh yeah, cartoony cell shading. Which, I'll be honest with you, I actually enjoy the style of Wind Waker. Also, I know the Dougall's here, but we're not able to do that yet, just because we're also a wolf. This would have been interesting to unlock earlier. It would have made travel just a bit better. You can drop 3 or you can drop 4 this time. Just 3. Because if people didn't complain about Wind Waker, we wouldn't have gotten this game. I don't know, I quite like Wind Waker, but I also quite like this side of Zelda. I believe they're both memorable games, and they're both strong points of the franchise. And I love that about both of them. One's slightly cartoony, but it's also got a beautiful story and soundtrack. This game's also beautiful with a good soundtrack, but it takes a darker twist on Zelda. To be honest, I believe HD remasters and remakes are the best things to happen to Zelda. Because we got Ocarina of Time 3D where they fixed a load of issues, and of course it's graphically better. But although like Wind Waker and Twilight Princess, they looked great on GameCube. You know, back when they first came out. However, they fixed stuff like controls. One last tier. Oh look where it is. Although I will say, this game, I think this game alone is the reason why I have stuff like arachnophobia and stuff like fear of insects. And it's this boss mainly, as well as the boss in the Temple of Light later on. But this is the main reason why I have stuff like phobias of bugs. Hold on, if I check my collection. Yeah, I just wanted to check how many hearts we had. This game is a solid reason why I'm afraid of bugs. And we're going to see it in a minute. Because it is pretty grim. It's not... I wouldn't say it's exactly hard. Not exactly easy either. More so just a pain in the ass. This is the main reason why I hate, insects, bugs, and creatures. Is the best way to call it. Oh look, they're flying into nothingness. Look at that. I can't remember if you're going to charge. You are. Do that one more time. Oh, it makes me sick just looking at it, to be honest. I was terrified of this as a kid. At least that's the last Twilight section. Jesus Christ. I've just realised as well, I never made a post saying that I was streaming this. But while we're in some cutscenes, I might as well. Let's just say playing some Princess stream. I know nobody's going to see it just for the primary factor that it's the middle of the night in the UK. 2 AM for God's sake. No, it doesn't help that we had an issue launching up stream. No, stream issues aside, it's been alright so far. I can't remember if this is the interesting cutscene or it's the one afterwards. Look at the size of it. If people have seen this game before, they'll understand what I mean. My audio is having popping on mine, but it seems to be coming through right on stream from what I'm aware of at least. Name is Lanayru. Your efforts has lost restored each of us to the light spirits in. So the one thing I quite like is the four spirits are named after the 4 locations in this version of Hyrule at least. Because Orden isn't a location in any other Zelda game. Look, you must know that it was the will of the goddesses that we lock away the forbidden power. This is one of my favourite cutscenes, I think. Just because of how dark it is alone. And it just plays the familiar music from Ocarina of Time. Did Lanayru and for all the 3 goddesses. Oh look, it's Ilya, and we're in our old costume. I think this is when we see the actual shadow interlopers, the ones which try to get the Triforce. This was a creepy cutscene. This was mad seeing this growing up. Never overly understood it other than like the desire to get the power of the gods. Oh, look, there they are. Dark Link, the only time you actually see him in this game. But they are the shadow interlopers. Ones which try to get the Triforce for themselves. And the fused shadow. They scared me as a kid, to be honest. No clue why. I have no clue why, just look at the state of it. That'll tell you enough, wouldn't it? See, they're going on like 3 light spirits, however there's Orden as well. I suppose it's more like a trial light spirit, if anything. This is just not a light spirit, it's just a region with a spring. I always remember Game Theory just taking a screenshot of that, was like, is Link dead in Twilight Princess? And look, the fused shadow. So basically, this cutscene is teaching us what the fused shadow is and why we're after it. But we've been collecting it for Midna all along, without any rhyme or reason. The only thing we know is we owe Midna because she freed us. This does give me like Evangelion vibes. Thinks out of it, like he's getting visions like from the goddess. The dark power that you seek is within the sleeping lake. We know where it is. And then Link just gets up perfectly fine. I know. There's, I think it's a heart piece up there, but we can't get it without stuff from the lake bed. I know. First things first, though, we need to work our way back up. I'll say back up. Back to Hyrule Castle Town. See. Oh, there's... Oh yeah, the mini games. Yeah, there's the one we can do up there. that'll take time. So we're not going to bother with it at the moment. We will go and get it at some point because it's quite useful to have a second bag of bombs. First things first, I think it's best we go visit Fire first. They can fire us back up there, and then we can work our way across, I think. I don't know. This is the point in time where I decide if I'm going to do 100% run. I mean, I'm going to do just the story to begin with, I reckon. The thing is, there's also I know there's a Howling Stone up there to get, but I can't get it because I can't turn into Wolflink yet. What I'll need to do is I'll need to fire up with the cannon and then use a cuckoo to get to those ones. I think the top one might just be rupees. I don't know. I've got enough rupees in order to do so. Yeah, Forest of the Heaven. I'm just gearing up at the moment to do the worst quest in Zelda history. Saying Zelda history, it's not too bad. The escort quest, but it's pretty bad. It's one of the my least favourite missions. Because you need to be quick with the Gale Boomerang, which is the thing I suppose I better equip it to at least one of the slots. Reminds me of something. Master's Fun Zone. Final piece of the few shadows in the bottom of Lake Hylia. So, the reason the escort mission is also bad is because it leads back to King Bulblin. I know, again, it was only last stream of Twilight Princess that we did King Bulblin. I don't know. I don't want to have to do King Bulblin. It's the prime factor that he's like the worst boss in the game. I don't know, like for someone that loves The Legend of Zelda and loves Twilight Princess, there's a lot I can bitch about. I think the amount of time I spent playing this game, I deserve to be able to bitch about. Actually, we will we'll re-equip bomb arrows. Yeah, I have mad issues with speech. Okay, thanks for shooting through my holes. Remember what we learned from him last time? I don't think there's many of them left. I know there's one in the Gerudo Highlands. There's one in Lake Hylia before we get to the Gerudo Highlands. I say Gerudo Highlands, it's Gerudo Desert. Oh, apologies, I just need a shield attack. Excellent. Third hidden skill is the back slice. That's going to be quite useful later. I think it's target, hold right or left and press the A button. Yeah. Yeah, and then press the B button afterwards. Prepare yourself well, we unlock the backslot. I can't remember if it's 5 or 6 hidden skills. Might be 6? If it says there's 2 left. Oh no, 4 hidden skills, my bad. A bit more than that. I know there's one in... I think there's one in Lostwood. Because I can't remember half of them. You want to get stopped by the mailman? Yeah. Oh, 2 letters. I suppose a better answer on. Water bombs. And rapid ride and fishing. I don't think there's anything for completing the fishing hole. I don't know. I don't know, we might pay him a visit at some point. Look, there's a person trying to get all our rupees. I know you get a heart piece if you keep donating. I can't remember how many it is. It might be 10,000. Might just be 1,000. I don't know. I always wish if video games like make you pay something. So if it's something like a donation system, they should have it where you should input the amount of money you want to donate, rather than like I was playing through Scarlet and Violet DLC yesterday. Because it had a very limited amount to go through with it. The one thing I had to go through is I wanted like one of the rare outfits, but you had to pay a million polka dollars, if you will. Don't get me wrong, I had the money, it was easy to get, but at the same point in time, you could only pay it through in hundred thousands at a time, which isn't too bad. But there's there's dialogue before and after it. Fishman is dying. Coming in Kakariko Village. Too dangerous. One of my favourite cutscenes in this game. It's so memorable. Yep. Reach Kakariko, 2 planes of dangerous beasts. Hello, Soldier Boy. Soldier Boy, we didn't even agree to it. She just signed us up just because we had a sword. Yes, we know her. But she's got dementia. You lend you strength. Quite wholesome. Oh look, there he is. Wanker. I don't believe this King Boblin one's too bad. We could have quite easily fixed the bridge. We know. Well, actually, no, we don't. We don't know where the bit's gone. I do. That was kind of a cool transition. What's your name? It's not like you're going to remember it. I'll never forget your kindness. I don't know, you forgot however old she is in years. Yep, we've got the eyes of a feral beast. Betty loves it. She's one of my favourite characters, to be honest, just because it's like she has a bit of sauce to her. And like, she's somewhat flirty with Link. Set the combo to off. I think it might be an idea to set the Gale Boomerang to R. Aiming shouldn't be too bad. First things first, though, we do have to take care of King Boglin. I didn't mean to do that. I meant to inventory. Do have a fairy. Oh, we only took 2 shots. And we finally got the key. They could have just shut the windows of the carriage and pretended, oh yeah, there's nothing in there. They don't. Out for this, to be honest. It's going to be bad, I know. Don't dismount. This might take us a couple of attempts. This is already bad, I know. Don't have that it's lagging a little bit. The stream's still running. Come on, you git. My favourite thing to do is just calling enemies git. We're pretty close, I think. Or at least pretty close to the first checkpoint. I am aware, like, if you don't defeat, I think it's the Kargoroks, then they will keep looping. Thankfully, though, I got that in a shot. That wasn't as bad. As bad as I usually get. Usually it takes me a couple of rotations, but I managed to snipe that Kargorok quite quickly. and relax. Jesus Christ. See, usually I'm pretty bad at that one section. Just for the primary reason my aiming in video games isn't exactly the best. Do you know the fate of his mother? Yeah, motherfucker's dead. The welfare consumes him, has been mumbling delirious. Yeah, he already knows. I've not missed this character at all. I'll be honest, my most viewed videos at the moment have been from Twilight Princess. It's pretty good. I'll be honest, appreciate it. Link just looks tired, man. Just look at him. He's already so like downtrodden, and it's only been 2 dungeons so far. I do feel for him. I don't know. It's pretty sad. Just look at Link. He's so tired and he's worked so hard already. Skills are yours. You're of the mind to put them to use for Hyrule. Yeah, the kingdom is frail and dying. I mean, although this is like leave after the hero goes back in time in Ocarina. No, it's when I can't remember, to be honest. You know, this is the defeat timeline. This is the defeat one, I think. I could be completely wrong. Could be speaking out my arse. No, it's when Link goes back in time. That's fine. I thought so. So yeah, of course this is after Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask, although Majora's Mask is kind of a side note. I suppose it does make sense, considering like if Link stayed an adult, when he stayed an adult, he didn't go back into the Lost Woods. That makes sense that this comes after Majora's Mask and Ocarina of Time. Look who it is! Queen Bella. Descendant of Princess Ruto, to be honest. Not sure how many years after Ocarina of Time this was, but I mean it's quite a few. It's got such a good model though. So cool. It looks so good in HD as well. I can't remember what it looked like on GameCube, considering I never actually beat it on GameCube. But even on Wii, it was a pretty strong looking model. I've actually only beaten it on Wii and then Wii U. Even then, I think I beat it twice on Wii, and I've been playing it once a year every year since I got it on Wii U. I got it when it came out on Wii U. I can remember, it's probably coming to 10 years, I think. I can't remember. That just means I've beaten HD like near 10 times. Which is kind of sad. Still like what my autistic fixation is. I know the audio sometimes changes, like if the frame rate dips slightly. That's something I need to work on and fix at some point, but that's an issue with the emulator. I'm deeply grateful for you aiding my son. A good place for the Zora people. Why do the Zoras come and die in Kakariko Village? We've now got a pretty good armor. We got the Zora armor. Special garment was handed down through the Zora royal family. Tell him he must not grieve his mother's passing. Tell him she wanted him to be brave and live on as king of the people. And tell him his mother loves him without end. Tell him. That's quite heartfelt, to be honest. Yes, the last fused shadow. Let's see, we're gonna equip the boots to the R button for the primary reason we're going to use an awful lot of them. I will save the game as well, just because it'd be quite useful. I'll only save it to the first slot for the primary reason if something goes wrong with the stream and the stream ends up ending, there's a backup. Then there's the magic armor, but we don't have to worry. We can now hold our breath as well. It's pretty good. Well, they did send us, I suppose they wanted us to get bonds as bombs before actually doing the side quest. But like, what's the point of doing it if you are going to return anyway? I think there's a couple of things I could do over here as well, which I believe it does include the shooting minigame. I can't remember if it's active yet though. Oh, it might be. I can already see the child's up there. Yeah, as you can see up at the top, there is a little child where the tip of the arrow is. First things first, I suppose we better go and buy some water bombs, because they'll be quite useful. There's a couple of things I can do as well, which does include going to the top of Lake Hylia. Put him on this side. And 233 rupee. Finish the water bombs, they're so advanced. To be honest, there will also be like new bomb model 2, which are the walking bombs. However, I've never found a use for them. You can only carry 15. I do actually quite like the water temple in this game. Just for the problem reason it's not overly complex, but it's still like complex enough. Top of the shop? Yes, please. Where's that to aim it? And hold forward. The other thing is that they don't charge for it. I suppose they could have made the Gorons charge. you need to talk to the child up here in order to unlock the shooting game. I do believe there's also a way up inside. There is a chest over there, but I think I have to jump over in order to get it. Show me how to use a bow. No, it's at the bottom. This quest isn't too bad. The thing is, you don't really have to mess around with it. Oh, I forgot I moved. You see the you see the thickness of that pole. We've got to shoot it from the top pillar. I do think there is some some targeting on it though, so it's like not too bad as long as you shoot in the right direction. See? We've got the heart piece. There might also be one more, which is, I think it's, I can't remember, I always call it the eagle shop. I can't remember if it's in the shop or if you have to do it again. I'm gonna Google it. I'll Google it. Oh no, there's no point, it is in the shop. Yes, I'm not going to Google it then. Buy something. Hawkeye. I do think you had to do the mission first anyway. Now we do have the Hawkeye. When equipped, we've got a scope. It makes it stronger as well. Does make it a bit clearer to see. It's kind of cool. We don't need it covered though. Okay, so I guess we go back to the graveyard. Because the woman did mention there is a quicker way back. It is quite a nice looking game, all things considered. And I know there's 3 bomb bags. One of them's, I think one of them's doing the shooting minigame and freeing up the waterway for the woman at the far end of Lake Hylia, and the other one's for blowing up the rock in Zora's domain. An absolute nerd moment, I think. Also, this stream's going to end up going for like 3 hours, I think. Or well, however long it takes to do the temple. Which reminds me, we did actually need water bombs to unlock the temple. Oh yeah, there's reverse controls. So just underneath us here, if you can't see on the map in the bottom left corner, there is a purple dot, which means it is the temple. What I'm going to do first is I'm going to go back to the top of Lake Hylia, and I'm going to try and get both bomb bags, considering I'd much rather have bombs spare, in case I ever need it. Shame swimming's a bit slow in this game. I'm aware that for Majora's Mask 3DS for that remake they did ruin swimming. Because before with Majora's Mask, at least on the N64 and any virtual consoles, what ended up happening is you could boost, you could change angles, whatever, without needing magic. However, what they changed in the 3DS version is if you held down R, you'd get the boost and you'd be able to do flips and turns. However, you would use magic to do so, which everyone complained about. Personally, when it came to getting my 100% completion in every Zelda game, for Majora's Mask, I did use the 3DS copy. Just because I found it slightly better that way. I do believe there's a golden bug up there as well, but we can get that when it comes to going towards that area up there, which you can see from here. You see that area above that. That is Arbiter's Ground, which is a dungeon in the game, which is kind of cool. There's also another reason why I'm leaving Cuckoo minigame is because on the tower there's a posthole, which we're not able to get until we go back to Hyrule with Midna as Wolflink. I don't know. It's not going to take us an hour and a half to complete the dungeon. However, it will take us a bit of time to get set up for the dungeon. I was about to say, I wish I got the soundtrack on CD, but then I looked over and actually forgot I had it. Whoops. It's pretty good, the Nintendo soundtrack CD. I mean, they used to do their CDs with old Nintendo magazines for the GameCube era. But then I got the soundtrack CD when I got the collector's edition of this game. Let's just say, when I first started playing this game, I fell in love. I loved every second. But because I got the HD collector's edition, I've still got the box here somewhere. It's on my top shelf. It came with the soundtrack as well, and the game and the Wolflink amiibo, which I did unfortunately unbox. Yes, I did actually get two Wolflink amiibo. One of which was in Germany when I went on a school trip with my high school. And we went to a GameStop partway through, or at least I wandered off with my mate into a GameStop when I ordered a couple of amiibo, one of which being Rosalina and Luma, which was quite rare at the time, considering people just buying out the stock even if they didn't like the characters. You know, and I believe the Splatoon 3 pack as well I picked up, which was also pretty rare because somebody stole a truck shipment of them. I'm seeing that when that happened. It's wrong button. I wanted... We need to make our way over there to Azora's River. I think I can get through that way maybe? I'm going to go up to Zora's domain first, and then see if I can work my way across. Just because I know with Zora's domain I should be able to find my way across, and I've got bombs, which I think is this pathway up here. Also, we got Tektites back again. They were in Ocarina of Time. Which is kind of cool. It's always nice seeing like enemy types return. We're not going to need millions of bombs in order to get into the Lake Bed Temple. We only need 2 of them. It's fine if we use a couple of them here and there, especially considering we get bomb bags soon. A nice amount of rupees as well. Makes up for the 100 we spent. The 100 spent, we actually spent 200. Say 200, it's close enough. Was we spent 90 on water bombs, and then we spent a further 100 on Hawkeye. I know I mentioned it at the start of the stream, but we remember this boulder. It's the one we sent down from the bloody prawns. Let's blow up. The only Goron in all of the bloody Zora region. Looking up, found myself swallowed up in lava. But hey, we got a bomb bag. A bag with bombs. Which means hopefully they're full. Yeah, get a good amount. Can't use them underwater, but it's still nice to have them anyway for stuff like arrows and pathways. Oh god. There's no reason to blow up these boulders, to be honest. It's always quite calming swimming in Zelda games. Also quite nice the fact that we can see Midna's portal from up top. Is it came all the way from Death Mountain? Yep, we sent it. Like, we are the sole reason why this is here. It is quite nice here, to be honest. We're gonna swim down here because it should take us where we need to go. When I say where we need to go, I believe the bomb minigame, which will take us back to Lake Hylia. Look at bomb arrows as well because I think we're going to need one. Oh yeah, I believe this is open. Well, considering the water level's back up. Oh no. It's not temporarily closed. Why? Why can't you just let me in? I can fix their issue. I can fix their issue of a locked water flow. Why? Just let me in. There's no reason why they're not going to let me in. I think it's after I do the lake bed. Absolute cowback. Absolute cow. Could have just let me in. Seriously, what was I going to do? Okay, real quick. I would have swam, but I know it would have blown me away. I remember most things about the game. There's some things where like my memory's hazy on it. I reckon we're ready for the temple. Very good. Bit of walking to do. If we see any like horseshoe grass, we'll call Lapona. Just realised we've nearly been going 2 hours already, which means hopefully we'll be done with I'm playing an hour and 10. Not saying I want the stream to be over, but I grow tired. No point doing that because the rupee's just going to despawn now. Hope it doesn't. It's a fat one as well. 50 rupees, I think that was. Most Zelda games are pretty on top with their rupee numbers. It tends to be green being 1, blue being 5, red is 20. And I think gold's 300 and silver's 200. I can't remember too much. But there are some games where they change the format of that. But I think that's just poor management, to be honest. For the most part, to be fair, the Zelda franchise is pretty good with keeping on track of the lore. I kind of love it. Because I know they don't like keep up with their own timeline other than the occasional book. But we recently got the Triforce trilogy of books. With Hyrule Historia Art and Artifacts and whatever the hell the other one was, I can't remember. I only own one of them. I own Hyrule Historia. I still have my original copy. But in one of the newer ones, I don't think it's Art and Artifact. It might be the other one. But I'm well aware that my mind's going blank again. My mind's going completely blank. Yeah, I'm well aware that they've got a timeline in one of them. So they've got most of the games. In fact, I think they've got all the canon games up until Breath of the Wild, I believe. I mean, I'm currently working out my own timeline, which includes Hyrule Historia. You know, it includes the stuff we have from Hyrule Historia, includes the stuff we have from Art and Artifacts, and the other Blue Book. That's why I'm just going to do this, considering my plan's gone tits up, if you will. I don't care about getting the... Oh, the postal does actually spawn, it's just we can't collect it because we need Wolflink. Ooh. Got 100 rupees. We'll see if we can just drop down. Okay, I'll make it difficult. Oh, I wish I can stick the camera up. Okay. We will have to do it anyway for the post art, but at least we can get the rest of it. And the good thing is, if we get a piece of heart in the next dungeon, then I'm all for it. Cocoa stamp. The other ones are just going to be rupees. 20 rupees, we got our money back. I will have to come back for the pulsar, which is another 20 rupees, but you know, we got all the other rewards, which I think is pretty good. Oh, press the wrong button. You're right, Minda, it has been a lot of trouble. We're 2 hours in and all we've really done is an escort mission. To be honest, we got quite a bit. We got 2 heart pieces, got a second bomb bag, we got water bombs. We got the Zora tunic. I think that's pretty good. But if we find there's a piece of heart in this temple, which I think there will be, I just can't remember where. It's off the top of my head. I'll know once I look around the temple. But if we get one, we'll get our 7th heart, and then we'll get our 8th heart container when we do the boss. I don't know about you, I'm pretty impressed. I believe we have to hold it for a second and then we can place it down. There we go. Otherwise it would have floated too high, I think. Depends where it throws us out after this temple, the Lakebed Temple. We'll see what the time is on stream as well. Because I know like exactly what happens after this temple. We might be able to get away with doing it on this stream. Because it'd be pretty good if I can get it done this stream as well, because it has the best music in any Zelda game. I say the best music. I don't think it's the best music in any Zelda game, but it's pretty good. Got more water bombs. Look at the eye in the picture compared to the eye in the model. Bloody state of it. Arrows as well, just show they want us to use them. I'm thinking I probably will go 100% with this game. It's just, it depends how far we get when we defeat Ganon. For the prime reason, if we're gonna be an awful lot longer, then I'd rather we play something like Paper Mario 60. You know? But I'm sticking to the rule that if we're currently playing, I think two or three games, we shouldn't start another one unless there's no urge for me to go back and actually play a game. You know? If, for example, I decide not to go back to New Super Mario Bros. Wii, I will. If I decided against it, then I would pick another game to play instead. But of course I will be playing it, considering I love the game. Even though it didn't sound like it in I think it was yesterday's stream. Also, I did get myself editing software. I got free editing software, which is good. Just because now I can at least put videos back together if I break them partway through stream. I'll be honest, I'm half tempted to delete the VOD from Twitch. Because with Twitch, Twitch has a thing where you can upload your own video. So what I could do, I could delete it and then I could upload the edited versions, which is good. But it comes through on like World 1 and World 2 on World 1 and World 2 on YouTube. Which is the way I want it to be, considering I want to do like one world per video. But there's a break in between. So with Twitch it does like half of World 1, then the next half and World 2. Which is why I called it VOD 1.1, 1.2, considering of course they're the same VOD anyway. Welcome to Confusion. I love putting the sword away after a finisher. For those that don't know, you could do it by pressing the A button after you perform a finishing blow. But I think it's useless other than star points. Also, I've decided I'm going to play Paper Mario 64 at some point on stream. Play through the entire game because I enjoy it. But when it comes out, I'm tempted to play Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door on stream. It's the primary reason I love Paper Mario 64, and I love The Thousand Year Door. I never finished it. I love it. Also, I just wanted to say, as soon as I walked in and saw the chandelier, I remembered where the art piece is. It's up there, but we need the temple item first. But yeah, we need to get the hook shot first. That'll lead us up there. Confusing layout. I need to open the water first and then I can get the chest under there. I think it's a stamp. You know. I can't remember the exact layout for this dungeon. That's better than the water temple in Ocarina of Time. Hey, White Shade, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it, dude. It terrifies me whenever I hear the noise of the stream. So you're more than welcome to stay on stream as long as you fancy. I enjoy having people like you around. I think I can go in here first. Hey mate, is this your favourite Zelda game? It's more than just my favourite Zelda game, it's my favourite Zelda game of all time. Well, favourite game of all time in general, to be honest. I love that. I don't say, it's not my favourite Zelda game, it's my favourite Zelda game. But no, it is my favourite. Good same. Honestly, it is great. I just love how dark it is, to be honest. To be honest, the story's enjoyable. We've been going through a temple per stream, and of course, you know, as you know, this is your favourite Zelda game as well. This is the Lakebed Temple. To be honest, I remember most of the game. I remember most of where everything is. The only thing is, there's certain moments, like now, I have no clue where I'm going. Just because it's a confusing layout. I'm looking at playing most of the Zelda games on stream at some point. I do think the only one I might miss out on is Majora's Mask, just considering that I've only beaten it recently. I've only finished about 5 times. Yeah, honestly, I've played this game once a year, every year since I got the game. And I mean, I had it on Wii as a kid, and then I picked HD up when it came out on the Wii U. I will say, I was dreaded playing the we'll say the escort mission for this game, just for the solid factor. I'm using a third-party controller, so I've got no gyro controls. If it's easier with gyro controls, I find at least. But I mean, we didn't have too much issue on stream doing it. I don't know, we're enjoying it so far. You should honestly. I've said it every stream so far. Twilight Princess and Wind Waker HD are coming to Switch. Just the primary reason the Switch works as a checkpoint console. So it's like you can catch every single Pokemon. They're porting the best Mario games onto it, and the fact that literally every other mainline Zelda game other than the Four Sword games are here, in one form or another. So I don't know. There's pretty solid evidence to say this game's coming. Do you know Switch 2 coming? That's why it's coming. Honestly, I'm not sure about the Switch 2, just for the primary reason Nintendo might have an issue, because I'm sure we all remember the Wii U, you know? The absolute mistake that was. To be honest, I loved the Wii U as a console. A lot of people complained about it. I thought it was pretty good. Like, once you got over the fact that it's not a Wii. Yeah, I was speaking to one of my mates earlier on today about it, saying what I'd like from the Switch 2, like if they made one. And I think overall, I I personally prefer it to be more of a home console than the Switch itself. Yeah, no drift, definitely. To be honest, with my OLED, I've not had drift on it, and I pre-ordered the OLED, so I think they have improved it, but it might just be me. No, it'd be nice to see a Switch 2 one day, but until that point, I don't know what they'd do in regards to it. And theorise. It's scary thinking about it. Just because I've got a feeling the main reason they might make a home console instead of a Switch is, although they'd use backwards compatibility, they'd want something that can compete with Xbox and PS5. Most people looked at the price tag of an OLED console and they thought, why get this when I can pay a bit extra and just pick up a PS5? Something with a little to no drift. To be honest, recently at least, Mario fans have been eating. I'm not sure if you've seen the Nintendo Direct from the other day, but it was mad. Like, there was a lot of mid stuff on there, like loads of mid stuff. However, seeing Thousand Year Door, it was great. Also, that's cool, dude. If you're AFK, completely understand it. See, oh yeah, things to blow up. Also, I do love this third game, like, for better or for worse. I know I've played it a lot, but I've played a lot of stuff like Wind Waker as well. Which, to be honest, I think out of all of them, Wind Waker HD is probably my second favourite. just because I would say Wind Waker anyway, but the changes they made in HD were pretty darn good. You know, because they implemented the use of the fast sale, which it makes the content so much better to go through. One charge me. There we go. We do like the Helmasaurs, to be honest. They're kind of wholesome. Only little wholesome creatures. I do like how they're not the easiest, obviously, but they are quite easy to take care of. Take a view real quick. Absolute gobshite. Let's see, we can come through this way. Glad there's other people that agree, you know, the fact that Twilight Princess is favourite Zelda game. Just because a lot of the people I know that I talk to, they disagree strongly that Twilight Princess isn't a good game. And to be honest, I can understand their point of view somewhat, considering the game has its issues. You know, fighting King Bulblin 3 times. But at the same point in time, it's kind of cool because each time you take him down, you feel progression. If we can't jump down, we're not going to. I don't know. King Bulblin's definitely the worst part of the game, other than the escort mission. Because, personally speaking, I despise the escort mission. It wasn't too bad when we did it half hour ago, because we managed to get through it quite quickly. But if you, in regards to the escort mission, if you don't snipe the Targroks quite quickly, they will just come back and, you know, you'll have to loop around again. So hey, welcome back, Whiteshade. Hope you're doing well. I was just having another bitching session about what you call it, the escort mission. Because I was just mentioning how, like, if you don't snipe the Targrok quickly, they will just come back. But then again, it's kind of fun at the same time for an escort mission. It has its issues. It can be buggy. At the same point in time, at least they were nice enough to let you target onto the carriage. What are your opinions on it anyway? It's like, I know Twilight Princess being your favourite game and all, favourite Zelda game, should I say? But I know a lot of people dislike on it. What's it? Dislike the escort mission, that is. I know. There's quite a few people that actually enjoy it, you know, at the same time. Hey, more water bombs. I can't carry them, but it's, you know, open chest. I do have to come back here anyway if I want to get the 100% completion. But why not? Because we can't get over there unless we have the dungeon item. Oh well then. You can tell I've played this game a few times, can't you? Yes, I am British, unfortunately. Like I do like tea and crumpets, obviously. Oh hell yeah! Love seeing more British folk on Twitch. Surprised you're actually awake, to be honest, considering it's 3 a.m. then. It's always good. It's rare. It's rare to see British people when you're streaming at like stupid times. Quite wholesome though. We're not going to deal with the choo-choos, considering our bottles are full. But we're going to see if we can get something down here. Because the one thing I did quite like about this game is the amount of enemy types they brought back. It's from previous games. Also, that's perfectly fine, homie. You don't have to apologise about being AFK. I totally understand it. And same goes for anyone watching. If you go AFK, that's perfectly fine, perfectly understandable. I believe there's a wall separation, but I'm going to go through the second door first. Just because, if I remember correctly, there's a chest there we can collect. Maybe a key. One thing I find with this dungeon is there's that lack of keys. I was wrong. I was supposed to go through the other door first. Whoops. I knew it was one way round or the other. That takes us to the water, which takes us around. Yeah, supposed to do first door first, then this one, then we can go underwater and make it to the door. Whoops. Looks like fumbled it. Oh well. Oh well. Sometimes you just gotta fumble. Fumble the bag. Happens to everyone. To be honest, I think the next Zelda game I'm going to stream might be Ocarina of Time, just because it's a classic. You know, who doesn't enjoy Ocarina of Time? However, I want to test to see if I can get Citra working on my PC, just so I can get Ocarina of Time going. Because personally, I'd much rather play Majora's Mask and Ocarina of Time 3D. And then, that's just me. Because I quite like the HD style they went for, even though I know a lot of people did prefer the original content. I don't. I think out of all the Zelda games, Ocarina of Time is pretty. It's kind of weak, all things considered, but it's still pretty strong considering where it comes in the Zelda timeline. Because we got the key, we can now go and do the dungeon boss hunt. Good, because we've got enough bomb arrows to last a while. I always get really cheery when I see someone's someone new has followed or subscribed to the YouTube account. I don't know, it just means there's someone that enjoys my content enough to stick around and would come back for another stream, which I always think is kind of wholesome. I know it's cheesy for me to say, as a small-time streamer, like, every follow helps. Been a while since we've been back to the main room. I don't, I suppose it's a fairly big dungeon, all things considered. But if there's no need to go back to the main room, then of course we're not going to go back. I don't know, I think it might be one of my favourite in the game, all things considered. I've been saying all things considered a lot, it's because I'm losing my mind. But I don't. I think, in regards to the Zelda games at least, every dungeon is good in its own right. And I know this is coming from someone that shills Zelda 24/7. Like, there's the occasional bad Zelda dungeon, like in Four Sword Adventures, that had some pretty bad ones. To be honest, I spent so much time growing up playing Four Swords Anniversary Edition on DSi. Spent so long playing it. I loved it growing up. I played that game so much just because it's something I could do in long car rides. I think it was the second Zelda game I ever played. I remember correctly, you can get through this dude in a couple of phases. Go on, scream. Oh, I didn't know you could just blow up bombs by holding it too long. Usually I'm pretty good at like two-phasing it. That's what you're supposed to do. It's not too bad if you get hold of the patterns. Crim. I'm surprised they didn't do. I'm surprised they didn't take more inspiration from stuff like Majora's Mask. Like if you destroy the frog, it goes back to just a frog. See, we want things way. Anyway, we now have a hook shop, which means we can go back to the central room and we can get the heart piece. Will give us another heart, obviously. We can also go back to the other tower room. I say tower room, it's not a tower. You know what I mean. And we'll be able to turn the towers around as well. Be able to change the staircases. 15 rupees. We do have max 500 though, so it's useless to collect anymore. Let's see where this throws us. It's in this room. We want to go overhead. what we want to do. We will have to come back over this way anyway in order to get the boss cave. That requires us to fill this with water. Does mean we have a bit more work to do in this temple. The thing is, we got here in about 15-20 minutes. We're doing pretty good. But let's see if we can go off the floor. Might not be able to. Or might not have to be honest, if I check the map real quick. Yeah, we don't have the compass. Actually, looking at it, we're about halfway through the temple considering we've gotten the dungeon item. We've got most of the good stuff. That's when we fill the first section in. We're gonna just jump down real quick. I know there's bonefish, I think they're called. Oh no, I always call them bonefish just because, I mean, it's what they are. They're like piranhas. Let's go up here, shall we? We're gonna get up to the second floor, I think. Just because it'd be an idea in order to get the heart piece before anything. It'd make battles not easier, slightly more durable. It just means that if we did come close to dying, we would have an extra heart to back up. Nice one. 5 pieces, got a new heart container. So this game was kind of the black sheep of the Zelda franchise. For the main reason a lot of people complained about the art style. Goody goody. Hello, back again. We just got another heart container. We beat the dungeon mini boss for a hookshot. But you know, I think we're doing pretty good. Why are they not talking? What do you mean why they're not talking? I don't understand. Oh, yeah, the other guy is me. I always keep my stream open. I know it sounds cringe or whatever. But I keep my stream open just to make sure the audio is still coming through. Because I'm terrible. Oh, 3? There might be another person, I don't know. The one thing I do find with Twitch streaming is you may get as many people as you fancy. You know, you can get like 4, 5, whatever. But it's very rare to get someone else coming along to have a chat. What I find. You know, I do appreciate it if anyone comes along to chat and actually has a chat. You know, but I don't expect anyone to come along and be chatting. Yeah, honestly, I think Wind Waker's my second favourite Zelda game. Just because I'd say Wind Waker HD over like the original copy of Wind Waker. But the main reason I say that is because stuff like the fast sale. Because the fast sale made such an improvement on travel. because you don't then have to worry about how quick you go, and you don't have to worry about changing the winds every 2 seconds. What's your opinion on that? You know? What's a good thing about having another person in the stream? You get to ask opinions on things. You play Queen Victoria? No? Don't think. You know, like game, song, the actual Queen Victoria? Who's Jack the Ripper? What, Twitch streamer? Or just Jack the Ripper in general? Because if it's somebody who follows me, it's a mate I made during college. I think Jack the Ripper's. IRL. Oh. Oh, the actual Queen. Do you be IRL though? But just watch me come all the way up here, and it's just going to be the equivalent of a Hylian letter. There's no equivalent of it. It is an Hylian letter. Something you can't use anyway because Miiverse is shut down long ago. And something you also can't use because this isn't a Wii U. I love the state of it, to be honest. Like, you go all the way to just get like a random chest you find at the top you couldn't collect before because you couldn't, get the claw shot. And then you open the chest and it's just a Hylian letter. Honestly, yes and no, I'm sad they shut down the eShop. For the primary reason, I loved the eShop anyway, the Wii U eShop that is, because the music was always banging, to be fair. But let's be honest, it's always banging. But I much preferred it over the Switch eShop. It's the primary reason it actually had personality to it. Just get a fairy in a bottle, it's always useful. Honestly, the 3DS one was banging. I quite liked it. I spent a lot of time on it just because there was a lot of free stuff. But I think I'm more nostalgic off the Wii U one. Just for the primary reason it was like a really unique thing they had. I thought they got a gate, but you can't go through it. Now, the 3DS was banging, to be honest. Ocarina of Time 3D was amazing. Personally, I prefer it over the N64 copy, just because the controls better. See, I own both copies, I've played both copies, so I've got like a pretty solid understanding of both anyway. But they made enough changes in the 3DS copy for it to be worth it. Like, I love how you can use the bottom screen for the Ocarina. So not only could you use the touchscreen to play it, but you can also have a look to see the. My mind's gone blank. Not the recipes, but the sheet music. Yeah, exactly. It's on the go as well, so it's durable and portable. See, that's why I would love Twilight Princess to come to Switch. Because imagine playing Twilight Princess on the go. Yeah, that too. I mean, personally, I never really used the 3D feature on my 3DS, just because like I'd get headaches quite often. But it being in 3D and in such good quality as well, it was just worth it. I'm tempted to play the 3DS version on stream one day, just because Ocarina of Time 3D is a classic game. Classic one. I think it'd be good that they put it on a Switch. I can understand why they couldn't. That makes sense. Because the thing is, it's quite low resolution, Ocarina of Time 3D. I'm not going to be able to snipe it because I've got an awful controller, to be honest. I'm using third-party controllers at the moment, so like, there's no gyro. Control sticks are a bit on the deceased side. The HD upgrade would be cool. Have the amount of work put in, I think they'd have to go to like a third-party company to do so. I'll be honest, I can picture that when the Switch eventually dies with online. I reckon what they could do is they could make the emulation free. Yeah, Nintendo's cheap, to be fair. They'd do anything for a bit of money. But all things considered, if they shut down the eShop on the Switch at someday in the future, whenever that may be, I've got a pretty strong feeling that they will make the emulation free, so like Switch Online. Just for the primary reason, they'd want their games to still be playable. I don't know. I'd be down for playing Switch Online stuff on stream, considering a lot of the games you can get through in like an afternoon. Okay. Personally, my preference is PlayStation over Xbox. But that's for the primary reason I kind of played all the games I wanted to on Xbox. And I only got I got my PS5 on not long after release. And that was my first PlayStation. So I've been spending a lot more time with PS5 recently at least. But I'd say I moved on from Xbox onto PlayStation, yeah. But I do own and play both. Given the choice, I would go PlayStation. Yeah, I remember they bought out Activision. I've got a feeling they're still going to release it on PlayStation consoles, considering that's where a lot of their fan base is. I think it'd be more down to play COD on PlayStation still. Just for the primary factor, the Xbox I have is a 1S. Not a Series S, but like the old 1S. It runs fine, but it's a bit slow, all things considered. There's a difference between running well and just running fine, fortunately. There'd be more down to play on PS5 where it's like more updated. You own Series S? Yeah, to be honest, I've thought about upgrading to a Series S over getting a Series X. Because although Series X looks cool, I don't use Xbox enough in order to turn and say, yeah, I would play it enough. If I used my Xbox more than I would my PlayStation or my Nintendo consoles, I would think about upgrading to a Series X. But considering I use PlayStation more often, but I use Nintendo most. I don't know. But hell, because I use my Switch all the time, and I got my old one banned for modding. I could I could turn and say, yeah, I'll buy a Switch OLED just because it's cool, it's an upgrade, and it'd be able to connect to the internet, which is a positive. So I could keep playing Splatoon as well. But you know, Weeble. Do you honestly? I've played so much Breath of the Wild. I got 100% in it, so I did all the quests. I got all the Korok seeds, you know, all the missions, all the items, whatever. I loved it. I loved Breath of the Wild. Started playing that release. Got a few 100 hours in it now. Played Tears of the Kingdom when it came out, and I wasn't sure if Tears of the Kingdom was an upgrade or on the same level. To be honest, they're both great in their own right, although I don't think they're necessarily Zelda games. No, I don't know. I think they changed too much of the actual I don't know. I don't know how to say it. I think they changed too much of the original formula in order to still be called a proper Zelda game, traditional Zelda game. And yeah, when I first got it, I originally played it on the Wii U, and to be honest, at first after I saw it on the Switch, I kind of preferred it on the Wii U. Just the primary thing is the Wii U copy wasn't that bad. But then after I got a Switch and I got my hands on it properly and started playing it, I fell in love with it. Really weird boxes. Got nothing with them. Got really weird boxes. We'll take a bit of damage here, but that's fine. Do you have a second? What, Tears of the Kingdom? Yeah, I got Tears of the Kingdom on launch. Also played, I played loads of Age of Calamity as well. That was also a pretty good game personally. A lot of people complained about Age of Calamity, to be honest. It was like the Horror Warriors game, but they made a load of changes. Assassin's Creed, I used to play a lot of. I kind of dipped out of Assassin's Creed for a bit, just because I stopped after Origins. I think I never really played any of the other ones after it. I'm looking. I'll play the new one definitely when it comes out, but I played a decent amount of them. Syndicate, from what I remember, was pretty good. Personally, my favourite is Assassin's Creed 2. I enjoyed the gameplay of 2. I think 2 had like enough changes from the second. I like it because to be honest, it's always cool with Assassin's Creed when you know the location, because you can turn and say, oh yeah, I've been to this exact place, I've seen it before, and you can compare it to your knowledge in real life, and I think that's kind of cool. Oh, yeah. I'm sure we can all agree though, Assassin's Creed Unity kind of flopped. I don't know. I had enough fun playing Assassin's Creed Unity when it came out. And I've never had an urge to go back to it. I want to go back and play some older Assassin's Creeds. Recently bought Unity, it's fine. Yeah, see, it's fine for an amount of time, but if you play a lot of it, then it can get repetitive, I suppose. But it was pretty far when I stopped, when I first played it. I can agree with that. But I complain about the how the Assassin's Creed series has turned for a while because it's not like Ubisoft cares too much about what happens. But I actually quite enjoyed Assassin's Creed Origins. I finished it at least, which is something. Last one with multiplayer. Yep. See, okay, I can understand why it's the last one with multiplayer. At the same point in time, I think I'd like to see a new one with multiplayer. Like, how cool would it be running through a city? You know, you and your mate. I don't know, I'd play it at some point if they released a new one with multiplayer. I don't know if the new one has multiplayer or not, like from the trailers. I'll be honest with you, I've been out of it. I've seen like one of the trailers, I think. I think it was one of the trailers. I can't remember. But I believe they're having a bit of a Watch Dogs issue with Assassin's Creed, where if you do so many, you kind of lose out with it. How it felt on Odyssey. Yeah, I never played them because they just didn't look interesting. You know, it's kind of like they took a step away from how they originally were, but then they kind of ruined the whole concept of Assassin's Creed. I feel like they turned it more into a God of War type of game rather than an actual Assassin's Creed title. If that makes any sense. Okay. I like Watch Dogs 1. I like Watch Dogs 1, I will say. However, I've played all of them, but they just get worse from there. 2 I found myself struggling to play, just in general. And yeah, although Legion's in London and that's kind of cool, it kind of flopped personally. Like, it didn't feel good to play, just kind of janky. And I finished the story of it, and I just felt like none of the comedy hit. None of like any of the tragedy in the game felt worthwhile. I don't. I'd be more than down to try it again. Bloody horrid. Yeah, I know it's bloody horrid. Like, I think, I believe the main issue with Watch Dogs Legion, I think it was. The main issue was the fact that there wasn't a set main character, and that you could pick and choose your different characters, and you could set how things should be. That's the issue I had with the game. One of them. Other than that, the gameplay was kind of rancid. I know. I feel like because there wasn't a main character, there wasn't a main player, there wasn't a main cast exactly. If a character died, I felt like there was nothing there keeping me to feel sad about it. Darcy the Assassin was probably like main good character. But the one thing I did enjoy about Legion though was also the character swapping. You know, it works as both a positive and a negative. Because you can have some pretty funny moments with it, like just picking like a random old lady. You know? But it may be funny to pick an old lady. However, at the same point in time, it kind of flopped, just in general. Graphics are worse for 2021. Yeah, I know. Watch Dogs 1 had pretty good graphics, all things considered. And then they just turned and ruined it with Legion. Watch Dogs 1 had pretty good graphics. I believe they improved the graphics for 2. And then 3 just kind of felt plastic. Oh, even Assassin's Creed Unity looked better. That's saying something. Unity's a fun game to play, graphically can be a bit flawed sometimes. There we go, got the second water flow going. Just need to get the boss key. I think it's the last thing I need. What a mini-map. Oh, there's a couple of things. We can look at getting those. I think that might be the boss key there. I know there's the chest over there I need to get. Okay, I'm going to say I plan on getting GTA 6. However, I'm going to have a look at the file size and the price first. So I still play it with my mates from college. And we still spend a fair amount of time on it. I don't think it's going to be $150 no matter what they say. Oh, what happened there? They can say it's going to be $150 as much as they like, but I know if they charged it, nobody's going to buy it. It would be 70 quid at most, I think. 70 quid at most. If, say they did a collector's bundle, collector's edition, like they did with 5, I could understand 150. Because of course, 5 had a collector's bundle with, I think they did it with a cap. A cap and like a locked box or whatever. So I could kind of understand it if they did a collector's bundle, but if it was just for the base game, I couldn't see 150 quid. Judging by how the price is going at the moment for video games, $70 sounds like a lot more accurate. But no, I'd be down to play it because it seems like it'd be fun and it'd be a nice change. And of course, like GTA 6 is going to be a massive part of history at this point, considering it's been that long since GTA 5 came out. Hell, it was literally 10 years yesterday. And I'm genuinely surprised they didn't even announce any news about it. Like, they just kind of said, yeah, we're doing an event in GTA Online, you know, you'd be able to get a gun skin or whatever. Yeah, piece of heart, it's worth coming this way. I do think yesterday for GTA was pretty disappointing, considering they could have done so much with it. They could have released something new, they could have turned... Hell, they could have even said, here's a rough estimation of a release date. No. No, we got nothing. To be honest, I think the least they could have done was give a release date. I don't know. That's just my opinions, I think. If they did a release date, if they turned and said, oh yeah, here's some information, I know it's been a while. But I reckon they missed their mark because yesterday would have been the best day to do it. Let's see. Chest up there I missed, but I don't think there's anything in it I need. Chest and boss key. I need to get the ground floor of the other side. Which means I need to make my way to the other side. I think we're doing pretty well in this dungeon so far. I'm in far in it. To be honest, we got both heart pieces as well. Which is a shame because I don't know if there was 2 in the first dungeon. I think I only got 1. Oh well, we ball. We've got both the water flows going. We're making good progress. progress is something always important to me with streaming games, just because it at least like it makes me feel like I'm doing something right. It felt quite nice having someone come in on stream, just because, you know, as a new time streamer myself, you don't often get anyone come through. Make it, yeah. I don't know, having someone come in on stream, I don't know, it's kind of nice, it's kind of wholesome. It's because you're not usually expecting to see anyone. Oh, I missed my chance. Whoops. Well, I'll just sit here and vibe with it. We need to get onto the other side. Well, we're having a good day so far. Hope everyone's enjoying the stream as well. I wish the camera angle was a bit nicer on this section. We want to make ourselves low enough that they won't be able to target us. Of course, they target us. Okay, so there's a chest. I always get confused by this room. What's the point? Like, what were the Zora thinking when they made this? A bit of a creepy looking enemy, isn't it? We'll come break these. Oh, just some rupees. Lovely. Got sore knees. Oh, it's like, that's the only issue with streaming. Being sat down for long periods of time. Usually it's fine. But, you know, someone with arthritis, it's a bit of a pain. I want to make this my profession one day, to be fair. You know, it's quite nice being able to get a community together, you know. Imagine being a professional streamer, it'd be quite fun being able to build a community. I'd quite like it just, you know, just because I'd then be able to make a community and actually make something of it. Call me cringe, I know, but I don't know. It's cringy, but I like the idea of it. Yeah. What's up there? I am getting more like adapt to swimming movements and swimming controls. nice having White Shade come on stream, to be fair. You don't often expect people to come and, you know, stay and actually have a chat and asking about your opinions, really, isn't it? So, you know, I'm thankful for it, to be fair. We'll probably be finished by this section by 1/4 past, and it depends how directly after the water temple is the cutscene I'm thinking about. Because if it's directly after, I will have to do that section tonight. Considering I might not stream Twilight Princess tomorrow. I might take a break day. I might actually make an art stream, considering I've been working on something. But no, I've been working on my artwork recently, trying to like improve it. Yeah, man, it's difficult to improve on it, considering I myself am quite critical of my work, which is, yes, it's why I've not posted any of my artwork on my Instagram recently. I have been doing some because I've been looking at improving. Because I'll be honest, one of my mates, Theo, who I met at high school, you know, at secondary school. He's a good mate of mine. He's a great guy, and to be honest, he's motivated me recently to continue my artwork and to wanting to like improve on it. I respect that because recently he's been working on his artwork as well, and it's kind of, I don't know, it's made me want to do better. Because it's like, I don't know, if there's people around me that are motivated to do something and that want to do something better with themselves, it makes me want to try harder myself. I think that's kind of sweet, wholesome. I don't know, I want to try hard because my mates try hard. Like, if my mates don't try hard, it kind of makes me want to try hard less as well, considering I compare myself to them. I'm sure that's relatable to a lot of people. I could have stopped on that platform before, but you know, I was too busy having a moment. Oh dear, I lost 20 rupees. Almost as if I don't have space for them. Oh dear. Anyways. But also, after we do the lament section, because we're probably going to have to do it after, you know, during the stream. But after we do it, we're going to have to call it there because I'm like been going for 3 hours apparently. Hmm. Oh, always makes a scream effect. Always. Oh well, if you're a fan of Ocarina of Time, you already know who this boss is. And of course, I accidentally land on it. It's not Morpher. Might not be Morpher, however, is Morphle. Good old Morphle. Basically, what they turned and said was they took the Ocarina of Time developers and they said, you know what? Let's make it harder. How do we make it harder? I don't know. We give it a mouth and we give it 8 tentacles. Come on, will you just let me grab it? Usually I don't have these issues. Usually. Eyeball's pretty important. Yeah, exactly. Get close is the issue. Yeah, that's it. Just suck me into the mouth. Honestly. Oh, I need to move something out of the way before I knock it over. Usually I don't have this issue, right? Usually I'm fine with it. But then you get close and it will grab you anyway. See, I wasn't close to it. It just, well, I was close to it. I wasn't close to the tentacle. Finally. Okay, one slap and we got bombfish. Wait. Okay, I hit it once because I grabbed a bombfish and then I grabbed it. Okay, I know I had my issues with it, you know, without being able to grab it. But being able to one cycle it, or at least do the first cycle, should I say, the first phase. It wouldn't surprise me if this used up my first fairy. You don't have to tell me what to do, it's just I'm not close enough to do it. I wish there was a dash mode. Absolutely showing me up. Good, was close enough. It's pretty satisfying killing this boss at least. Maybe a pain in the arse. Absolute arsehole, this boss. It's not even because it's overly difficult, it's just slightly tedious. Is that it? Yeah, done. As we hit the 3-hour mark. Still not used our first fairy. My mate said to me earlier on today, "Hey, do you want to play later?" And I turned and said, "Yeah, sure. Give me a time. Give me a time and I'll play with you because I want to play Zelda on stream at this time." You know, you know, because you'd like to expect if someone wants to meet up, if someone wants to play a game online, you'd want to say, "Hey, are you right this time to play a game?" I can understand like and say last minute. It's just if someone said like last minute, "Yeah, do you want to play at this game at this time?" I could turn and say, "Yeah, sure, why not?" But I asked specifically for a time because I knew I wanted to come online about 1 a.m. That's when I always come online. You know what? 1 a.m. of all times because I'd be awake anyway. And then they've just messaged me saying, like just now, it's bloody 4:15. 4:15 in the morning. And I know they're American or whatever, and I've just turned and said, "I'm still streaming, I'll probably be done in about half an hour if you're free then. But you should have told me a time when I asked you earlier." I just think it's a bit rude to be honest, like, if someone asks for a time frame to meet up or play or whatever, you should stick to it. Or you could, like, answer at the very least. But anyway, we just got our 8th heart, which is good because if we get 2 more, we'd be halfway. I'm still impressed by that cuckoo. Cuckoo. Cuckoo? Cuck. Yes, I'm impressed by it because I never usually get it first try. I usually don't worry about getting the rupees for the primary factor of look at me now, my wallet is full. Anyway, this is the big bad of the game. Sudden, I know. This is Zant. He's a knob. Yeah, what he's just done is he's removed all the work we've done to remove the Twilight. He's just brought it back. Well, that was a cool transition. Anyways. No, it's like he's just grabbed a few shadows and just thrown them away somewhere. Yeah, bit of backstory. Is Midna was exiled and turned into an imp by this dude. This dude being Zant. Because imp. And he's just a bit of a Level Link just turns says, I can rescue this one. He doesn't. It's nasty. Beast is one of the Light Dwellers who oppressed our people. I don't even know what happened to the Twilight with them being oppressed. Like, I've played the game loads. Played it loads. You know? It's just like, yeah, they imprisoned us. Actually, to be honest, I do know what happened. Like, they're the people that were after the Triforce. As we saw with the Shadow Interlopers. Nice. He's kind of cool, though. Bit of a nutter. Like, okay, so he spends his moments here looking all cool and acting all cool. But the moment we defeat him, he turns into like a right nutter. Really. He's a nutter currently. Whoops. Oh dear. Anyways. Link's gone. Well, I've said it before, I'll say it again. This game has an amazing soundtrack. Probably one of the best in the entire Zelda franchise. Anyway, Midna's here. He's not in good condition. She's blue. She's been put in the world of negative. I'm blue, dabba dee, dabba die. Let's go back to the castle. Mrs. holds the key, unlock key from shadow form. Technically, she doesn't own a key. Doesn't own the key, that'll do. She doesn't own the key. The key is in the Lost Woods, the Sacred Grove. Which we won't do today. We'll go to the castle, we'll see how that ends, and we'll end it there, I think. But that's still in like 15-20 minutes. You're still stuck with me for 15-20 odd minutes, maybe a bit longer, depends how long this goes. I was always mad because they show such a cool thing, and they never go on about it again. Like, they show a cool passageway, but you're never able to get access back to it. You know? Like, if you put so much work in it to do new passages, to put new ways in, why would you not, like, why would you not stick away to it? Also, everyone hates us because we are a dog. And why we just look like a big dog? Just a big dog. Yes, that's what wolves are, and people are terrified of wolves anyway. I always like to think that they're not shouting at us because I'm a dog, but they're shouting at us because I'm carrying a dead body. Well, a dead midget body. Dying midget body. Anyway, let's do the mandatory kick out. Beast get out. I'll be honest, when I first played this game, I didn't like Telma for kicking me out, but then again, I can understand that. But look, it's Telma's cat. Where she could smell the beast on us. Louise the cat. I've seen her in the shop before. Bit puzzled to why you look like a dog. Are you a furry by any chance? I love how Louise knows her way through everything. Old waterway could be a rough job. I will change the audio system on Simu for next stream. It's a shame. I gotta be careful here, to be honest. Careful. Remember when earlier when Telma was talking about her group of people? Oh, this is them. There's 3 of them so far. Name was Link. Sounds as though he brought Telma and a young ward to Kakariko village. And here I was, thinking Hyrule was empty of men of valor. No, I don't believe he's from Hyrule proper at all. Yep, he's from the small neighbouring province of Ordana. The thing is, with the small province from Ordana, he's technically not Hyrule, so it's fine to why they don't have a god. Also, hey John, nice to see you. How are you doing? Apologise I didn't see your message, I was too busy trying not to smash a pot. We've been playing about 3 hours 15 minutes currently. Well, about 3 hours after our technical issues. Hope you're doing well today. Probably not going to be on stream too much longer, just for the primary fact of we beat an entire temple today. Did a escort mission. But we're making our way up to Hyrule Castle. But you know, we're doing good today. Just playing through some more of Twilight Princess. For the last 2 nights I've muted. Last 2 nights I had muted here for like 30 minutes each day. Might want to go get that checked out, to be honest. Doesn't sound too good. To be honest, I had to double read what you said then. I was thinking, what? Oh, okay, that'll explain it then. Probably burst an eardrum. Hope you enjoyed the concert though. And I do hope your hearing gets better soon. Another reason why I'm terrified of spiders now. Kinda don't want to deal with them. We'll look at taking care of some of these. Just got back today, it was like a 5-hour drive. Jesus Christ. To be honest, I went off to Welsh Wales the other week, so I can totally understand where you're coming from with the drive. I can completely sympathise. I'll be honest, this game is the sole reason why I have stuff like arachnophobia. Like, the creatures are terrifying. Yeah, I've heard of Dallas. Don't know exactly where it is, considering I'm not from over there. Around there. I know of it. Oh, very nice. Do hope you have a nice trip. This is going to be a bit of a pain. Because usually in this section, I'd have a decent analog stick in order to have a look around properly. I don't have that. Yeah, usually I use the right stick for analog, but it's buggered because I'm using third-party controllers. Live in the most unheard of city that the USA would. To be honest, that the thing with the USA is that would probably happen with a lot of places. Well, like if a single thing went wrong, the rest of the USA would go down. I think that's just because of the management. Hoping that didn't hit me, but it did. So, yeah, look, 5% of the US's planes. To be honest, the US uses a lot of planes just for the primary fact of it's quite a big place. So like, you're gonna have to fly in order to get to places. Okay, I can't attack on the tie rope. Attack on the tie rope. Bit tricky. Trying to get past. Or I could just ignore him. We're one of the targets for nuclear weapons. Okay, to be honest though, if you were going to attack the United States of America and you wanted to cause havoc, you wouldn't attack the White House first because it's guarded. You'd attack the place where they make all of the planes, because that would just destroy half the economy right there. You'd obviously attack somewhere where it had like enough of an impact. I probably shouldn't be saying that stream. I'm going to get swatted in a moment. No, he's hitting you. Okay, I suppose you could hit LA or New York. It depends where you want to hit exactly. Exactly. You can't call the British police from the US. And if you wanted to, nobody knows my address anyway. And that's not an invitation to find it. Look, how do we break the curse on this one? He is a dog. Exactly, John. But I don't know. There's always ways to find out stuff. It's like, why do you want to break the curse? He is dog. He is living life as a dog. He has an evil power. Bro, why would you do that to me? How dare you, John? But look, the blade of evil's bane. I know, I'm half tempted to go get the Master Sword in this stream. Pink hero sent by the goddess. Like you, I've been granted special powers by the goddesses, but it doesn't help that, like, your blood, the royal family blood. I'm messing up my words and fumbling here. The royal family bloodline is a mess in this game, considering there's all sorts of like descendants from an actual god. And cheers, John. I appreciate that. Appreciate hearing that you actually like enjoy watching my streams. What your mortal injuries? You act in our state. Oh, important moment. The dark times are a result of our deeds. Yet it is you who have reaped the penalty. Accept this now, Midna. I pass it to you. I love this dude. Goosebumps every single time. I think Link would end up liking the same girl over and over. Why did he not end up with... Okay, I can understand why he didn't end up with Sidon for the primary fact of... It's like... Okay, it's like the reason why Link stays silent in every game. He stays silent because it's like, oh yeah, we don't want to like give off the burden of, you know, being a hero. You don't want to pass on the burden, you don't want to give it to anyone else. So I can understand why you didn't get in with anyone. Anyway, Midna's back, but Zelda's gone. Oh dear. Oh dear, Zelda's gone. Anyway, let's go to Farronwoods. I love how she just throws herself back. It's still like Zelda. Sidon wanted to help and he was in it. To be honest, it's not every day you can ride a giant 7-foot fish man and, you know, not have the awkward conversation with your lover afterwards. Just be thankful she was still fighting the calamity for God knows how long. So, you know, just be thankful of that. You don't have to tell her you rode a 7-foot fish man. Grrr. This is the point in the game where Midna actually becomes likeable. See, we don't want autumn, spring, we want none of these. I think that Breath of the Wild was banned for. To be honest, I think it's also banned in China and North Korea. But you know. Hold up 2 seconds. Just got to change my earphone to the other ear. Just so I can keep listening in on the stream to make sure like it's actually running. Oh, the earphone case is dead. That's fine. Try and get this connected, shall we? Oh no, this earphone's dead as well. Oh dear. Suppose what happens if you have bad earphones. They're cheap ones anyway. It was fine. I may not be able to hear what I'm saying, which I've kind of got used to, like being able to hear what I'm saying over and over. A sec, where do I need to go? I need to go to Farron. Well, it's not allowed. To be honest, I think that's the thing with Russia. I've never been. To be honest, I'll be honest with you. I'd want to go to Russia one day, just for the sole fact I think it'd be an interesting experience. You know, like I know it sounds bad to say, but I reckon it'd be an experience one day. But of course, I probably will never, because I don't know, I'm not exactly fond of the idea of travelling. I'd want to travel one day. Not sure if Russia would be the place, but I would travel. Don't go, it's not. Yeah, I'm not surprised. I mean, looking at the news, don't get me wrong, I say, oh yeah, one day. I'm not talking a bit like in the next 5 years. You know, next 20. 30, yeah, but to be honest, I'd travel anyway. Well, anywhere, should I say. Not anyway. Depends what's happening war-wise. What's in those woods? I wonder. I probably was just like, I'm tired, I'm just gonna like do Midnight's Lament in Hyrule Castle and then can go off stream. But no, I guess not. We'll come back here twice. I went in 2019 filled with soldiers with AKs. To be honest, I don't know. I don't think that's a good idea to like go with AKs. But you know. Not the best of places to go then. Don't mind the sound of controller stick slapping. True. You're probably right with that one. Dun 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 dun. Wee 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 wee. Don't worry, John. I believe you. I believe you. Believe. But yeah, it's a shame bloody the lead singer of Smash Mouth passed. It's a shame. Had a frame drop then. My bad. I just realised we had 670 frame drops within 3.5 hours. And 800 slow frames, whatever the hell that means. Main issue is the Wi-Fi and the encoding. Oh. But anyway, we freed the third to last wolf, I think. Third or fourth. We'll be able to do that when we become a human. To be honest, I love this game. It's like my favourite of all time. The only issue is I hate this section. Use 24-hour clock or 12 hour. Personally, I use 24 hours because that way you can turn, say, 12 o'clock. Actually, okay. On PCs and phone, I'm used to looking at 24-hour clock. 24 hours is fine, 24 hours is good. But in person, I hate saying 12 AM, 12 PM because I'm always confused with which one's which. I think 12 AM would be lunch, and 12 PM would be midnight. I do apologise about the sound quality. There's an issue with the encoding on Timu. My restaurant is pretty good earlier, I must say. Had someone come online and talking. Also 12. Okay. 12 a.m. is the beginning of the day. I hate the idea of that because if you look at the clock, it's like 1 a.m., 2 a.m. But why start at 12? Surely it'd be 1 p.m. No, surely it'd be 12 p.m., 1 a.m., 2 a.m., to 12 a.m., which would be midday lunch. You know, because surely it just makes sense. Like 12 a.m. would be the middle of the day. Do you agree? Or am I just being bloody nutcase? And anyways, I suppose I better explain what's going on. This dude is Skull Kid. You know, like Majora's Mask Skull Kid. He's a bit of a git. He won't let us through the Lost Woods because he likes to play. Which is a bit of a ball ache, considering I want my new shiny sword. I would have thought for a 24-hour clock you would have said it's 12 rather than it's 16. But if speaking in person, I seem like a bit of a nutter saying, you know, instead of just saying, oh look, it's midnight or whatever, instead you turn and say, it's 24, you know, the time is 24 hours, you know, or it's 13 o'clock, you know. I love how I'm doing sound puzzle without having high-pitched sound. 4 p.m. you could say at 16. Yeah, true for 4 p.m. Oh, I suppose, yeah, you... I was getting confused. I suppose with your time it would be 4 p.m. Because for me currently it's 4:45 in the morning, that is. So I probably shouldn't be streaming Zelda at this time. 11 p.m. you'd say 23. Yeah, true, but I suppose like... I don't know, if speaking in person, I'd probably sound like a bit of a knob saying, yeah, it's 23 hours. You know? I think in person I'll stick to 12-hour clock because I'd turn and say, yeah, it's 1, it's 2, whatever. But if I'm on the phone, I'll say, like, I'd say the same. But I'd probably end up, like, differentiating between midday and midnight. You know, rather than saying, yeah, it's 12. You have to say, well, how many times, yeah, you defeat them, they keep coming back. 2200. I respect it, to be honest. Section may be irritating, but at least the music's good. Oh, this way's free. It's good because we have a mini boss. Most of us have military time just because I suppose it's the US, isn't it? You know, most of the US would work in military time. Because of course you would, it's the US. I'll be completely transparent, like, I had a fat struggle reading, like, clocks as a kid. Like, I just went with digital for the longest time. You learn it for fun. Yeah, true. Suppose you could look at it that way. This dude's fun if you're playing as adult, like regular human Link. And for the primary reason you have a bow and arrow, you have bombs. You can snipe him. As Wolf Link, it's a bit of a pain in the arse. You just wait to blow his horn, then you get to climb up and smack him. These dudes were always kind of creepy growing up. I guess it was the entire game because I think I first played it probably when, well, I was in primary school, I think. It was probably 11, 12-ish. Blow your horn, Mr. Skullkid. Why are you waffling then? I'm at the early stage of the game where I've not given the option to transform yet. Just because I'm yet to get the Master Sword. But as soon as I get the sword that seals the darkness, I'll be able to unlock it. Which is when the fun happens. Damn it. Blow your horn. Thank God for that. It's only the first time we fight him. That's for a later stream. Hi. I kind of love him though. I kind of love him. I will say there's quite a few problematic puzzles in this game. One of which being this one. Oh, that is crispy audio, I do apologise. That's just because I need to change the audio line on the software. It'd be as simple as changing one button, but I can't do it midstream. I'll see you later, John. I enjoyed having you around for the stream. I appreciate it. To be honest, I'm doing this section of the stream, then I'm going to bed myself. Whoops. But anyway, this section tends to be a bit of an issue. I love how they have like moss crotch though. I just think that's funny. Anyway, these are the Guardians. I know, like the ones from Breath of the Wild. They use the same blue light, so I guess they could be. Well, that and also the Sheikah do exist in this game. And technically, they are the original Guardians. Oh, mine's gone black. Mine's gone absolutely black. Usually it's not much of an issue to do this puzzle. I think I want them on the opposite side from each other. Me and the Sammy, we face each other. I know this section is a bit of a hassle. We should have it here. We could just go one jump, and then hopefully, bang. That's not. I mean, I don't think that's the intended solution. But hey. But hey, it's the solution we've got. Go now to the sacred place, beast. We yield passage to the sacred grove. And then they turn back to stone. Oh, and I didn't expect to be doing this today's stream. This is probably one of the greatest cutscenes of all time. It's such an iconic weapon in gaming history. Whoa. There's something magical, even if the audio is like being shy at the moment. Even if the audio is being bad, there's something amazing about just being able to pull the Master Sword. Look at that. My favourite weapon in video game history. Ah! Cool. We've also unlocked a new sheath. A new weapon. He's definitely different from our tribe's shadow magic. You're right about that. That's it. You turn back into a beast. Zam was kind enough to give it to us. Call it a gift, shall we? We can now be a wolf at any time we like, as well as warping. Just make the game a little bit easier. Let's go and get the Mirror of Twilight. In the first place being the Arbiter's grounds. Also, after we saved Midna's life now, I think we're more than even. Okay, just the music randomly cutting out, that's fine. Anyway, we have the Master Sword, and our attire is complete. Took a bit longer than I thought, to be honest. The thing is now, when we call upon Midna, we now have the option to transform into a wolf. Not going to do, because there's no positives of doing so at the moment. Also, new positive about having the hook shot from the claw shot, should I say, from today's stream. We can now get bugs. Ooh. I believe when we do the temple here, the dungeon, there'll be a nice surprise on the other side in form of another bug. And yeah, I can't get up here yet until later on. Fine. But I will say, there are glimpses of lore everywhere you look. And I don't know, I love this place, this game. Because it truly is beautiful. And I wish it, I don't know, I wish it was slightly more built up, roof-wise. But it's pretty good as is. It works well, the fact that it's overgrown. Considering this game came out after Ocarina of Time, but comes after Ocarina of Time in the timeline anyway. Which it comes under like the hero was returned. So of course the Master Sword was left in waiting. So if you think about it, this could be the original Temple of Time, or at least a new Temple of Time from a similar location. Oh, we've got a Posol. We can now collect them after earlier. We now have 2 of them, and we saw there was one in what you call it, the Cuckoo Fly game. What the name? But you know what I mean. The one where you fly with the Cuckoo, the one we did first try with the Iron Boots. We'll take care of this place. We'll see if we get anything nice for it. I think as well, now that we have the ability to turn into Wolflink, we've unlocked the ability to get like dungeons. Small grottos, if you will. But this is the type of one of them where you get stuff like enemies spawning. You just take care of them. Usually you get a chest with something, usually more rupees. But sometimes you can get them with all sorts of other stuff, and get heart pieces. I think you probably get stamps as well. But yeah, a heart piece, which is good because it means next time we stream, considering we now have 2 of them, because I think there's 2 heart pieces in Arbiter's Ground as well. But I don't know, next time we stream this, because considering like I'm done here today because I'm quite tired, and 4 hours is a good time to stream. And stream card as well. And I'll talk you guys out while pausing the game. But next time we play Twilight Princess, we're gonna have to go to the Arbiter's Ground, which is cool. Cool place. I'm not exactly fond of the boss per se, but the boss is a cool one. The boss is a cool one. Sometimes it can be slightly unfair. It's a really cool location. It's creepy as well. Don't get me wrong, it's a creepy location. And I don't know. We'll have to do that next time. We also have another fight with King Boblin. I know. Should be the second to last fight with King Boblin though, and we should be able to get the next bomb bag as well. Considering I know where the bomb bag is, might have to have a look at funding, going back to Kakariko Village and funding Malamar, because that's a big part of the game. That's a big part I'd like to do at least, because there's a slight challenge to it. The main challenge though is finding a place for the rupees, which is another thing I want to do. I want to go ahead and hunt for some golden bugs, just because I know one thing Agatha gives you is a wallet, and Agatha is some rich kid in Hyrule Castle. Add up to 6, Twilight Princess HD Agatha rewards, because I think it's after the first bug you're going to be given a giant wallet. But that's before I Google it. I just want to have a look, see what you get. I think there's 24 bugs. I don't remember. Oh, you get. Oh, somewhat right. You get the big wallet when you give the first golden bug, which I could have done earlier. Considering I've collected a couple of golden bugs. I've collected 2. Given a pair of golden bug will reward with 100 rupees. One golden bug was 50. Once you give a golden bug to Agatha, it'll be marked on the collection screen with a butterfly. Given 24, then you'll get the giant wallet. That's fun. It's fun. We seem to be doing well in regards to bugs. I think we got the one in Kakariko Graveyard as well. But there's a walkthrough for it, so I'll probably run through and get as many of those as possible. considering a lot of them is like Kakariko Village, some of them Gerudo Desert. But there's like Castle Town, Kakariko Village again, Harrow Field, the Gorge, Sacred Grove, Temple of Time. We got the one in the Sacred Grove, but the one in Temple of Time we can't yet. And there's Zora's Domain and Zora's River, which is pretty good. And for the prize you get, I think it's definitely worth it. Like, most definitely worth it. Actually, I can have a look here, considering I've still got the game up at how many bugs we currently have. Yeah, we've got 2 of them currently. Good. 2 out of 24. It's a good start. Good start. But I'm gonna end up stream, considering stream's been going a bit long. I've enjoyed it though. I do apologise about the issues with the audio and the slow frames and frame drops. There's only so much you can do. Only so much. I can have a look at tweaking around with Cemu, considering we lost the launcher and had to reinstall it like yesterday. So that will explain it. Plus, it's working off like experimental data. But yeah, I'm gonna end up here. Hope you guys have enjoyed the stream. Also, thank you for those which have stayed, like including, of course, John the Deer and good old Whiteshade. And I appreciate you guys if you're just staying around. If you're here for 2 seconds, 5 minutes, who cares? If you follow or subscribe to Twitch or YouTube, thank you. I appreciate it. Appreciate it greatly. I appreciate all the support. But you know, we vibe, we ball. I'm gonna go crash on the bed because I'm tired. And I'm gonna go to bed. So I'll see you guys in the next stream. I'll upload this to YouTube. Actually, I've got to do the thumbnail before going to bed, but who cares? I'll start the download for this as well. But, you know, have a good day, gamers, and I'll see you on the next stream, which might be tomorrow. It might be the day after. I'm quite unwell. I'll see you later. Cheers.